Are altcoins going to revisit their yearly lows? I think so, and in this video I'm going to take you through the reasons why. As you can see, I've got a list of alts to watch that I'm going to use as an example for this argument. I'm also going to take a look through BTC and ETH, as well as take a quick peek into the traditional markets, as I think they hold some clues as to what we could be seeing in the near future in the crypto markets. If you do like our content, please do consider liking the video and subscribing. It does help us grow, and we really do appreciate it. Also, if you want to drop a comment below about some content that you'd like to see from us, some things you'd like to include on these weekly videos, then go ahead and we will certainly take a look into that. So without further ado, let's get into the chart. So we'll start from high time frame to low time frame. As I say, go through BTC and ETH first. So BTC, as we can see, we've made this local high at 29.3k monthly resistance. We've had a nice little bounce of 25.2, which is holding quite nicely. If we knock it down to the weekly, still in a downtrend. However, as I just said, we have had a nice little bounce of 25.2, which is good. And as you can see, the weekly candle looks like it may well actually close at the same level these weekly candles have closed before, so not really breaking any new ground in terms of weekly closes potentially. If we go to the daily, it gets a little bit confusing. So on Monday's video, I talked about it's very rare that you get double deviations on a range low or range high, and I was talking about potentially seeing a crash in crypto this week. So whilst I sort of got that bit right, the reasons were a little bit different. I certainly didn't see the SEC coming out and suing Binance and Coinbase. I actually thought it was going to be from a traditional market standpoint, which I'll go through in a minute. But we did get that move, but as I say, we had a nice big bounce. So this big red candle came from the SEC suing Binance, and then this big green candle, which basically retraced the entire move, was the SEC suing Coinbase. So very confusing week, and as you see, we didn't really push on from that. We didn't have the momentum to carry on, so then we retraced back down to 26.3. So very, very confusing week, as I say. But 26.6 acting as resistance for now. But in terms of short term, not really too sure where we go from here. Of course, if this level holds, then we're probably going to revisit 25.2. However, we can get above sort of into the 27Ks, then maybe we push on for another retest of 28K. We're just going to have to sit tight and wait and see. Ethereum, again, if we go higher time frame to lower time frame, on the monthly, yes, we've closed above 1721 and holding quite nicely above there, but we've not been able to push on. Every attempt to push on has been suppressed, as we can see. If we go down to the weekly, again, not really a downtrend, just basically sideways chop, but no weekly close off below 1783, and we wicked off it again this week, which is quite surprising. It's had quite a few tests now. And then if we go to the daily, as you can see, we're just caught in this range between 1940 and 1820. So very boring sideways choppy action from ETH. However, what you can see is that it's holding up well against BTC weakness. If we do take a quick look at ETH BTC, so I've talked about this over the past couple of weeks. It was trending quite nicely, broke above this bearish weekly trend line, but I did say this 0.07 was going to be a huge level of significance. If it could break over the top and hold, then you probably see a rally, because it would have been, we've formed a higher low here in April, start of May, and this would have been the higher high. As you can see, we've rejected off it quite badly, and we're threatening to close back below or back within this bearish weekly trend line, which would of course be quite bearish. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, but it's not looking good. And as we've seen the past few days or this week, alts have suffered quite badly, so we're not really seeing that translation of strength from ETH BTC into the alt BTC pairs. So maybe it is further pain. If we take a quick look then into the traditional market, so this is what I thought was going to cause the crash in crypto. I thought with the S&P coming up to this big monthly resistance range high at 4327, I thought we were going to see a rejection, especially when you consider that the VIX, as I mentioned on Monday, volatility index. So the rule with the VIX is when the VIX is low, look out below. When the VIX is high, time to buy. When you see bottoms in the VIX, that's usually when you see tops in the market. When you see tops in the VIX, that's usually when you see bottoms. A big key example, this is February 2020, so the COVID crash. You see the VIX is very low here, down in the 13s, and then you see the top in here at March 2020. Another key top in the VIX is March 2022. As you can see here, up here at the 37s. If you then go to BTC, March 2022, that's when we had this top of the bear market rally at 47k. And the S&P, March 2022, would have been just there. Look, as you can see, that top there at 4638. So as I say, when the VIX is low, look out below. When the VIX is high, time to buy. And the VIX is currently, it's not been this low since, if you look left, this candle here, which was February 2020. So not to say that we're going to have a similar style crash as a COVID crash, but you know, the VIX is low. The S&P is at major resistance. So has this been the melt up before the meltdown? We're looking at you know, US stocks hitting all-time highs, some of them. We're looking at the Eurozone going into recession. So is the US going to follow that? And as I say, could we see a crash in the traditional markets? And if we do, then we're highly likely going to see BTC follow it. You know, BTC's not really, if we go to the weekly time frame, BTC's not really been following the S&P in this trend upwards. So the relative weakness there. So if the S&P does drop, what does BTC do? Probably follows it, and you know, is worse off. So have to wait and see. That's my theory. However, let's get on to some altcoins. So why do I think alts may revisit their yearly lows? Well, if you take a look across all alts, they all look very similar. They're starting to form these ranges, what you could call consolidation or accumulation ranges, much like we've seen in previous markets, or previous bear markets, I should say, where price just chops around, waiting for accumulation to finish, and then we finally drive out at the start of a bull market. So if we take a look at DOT, so this is a pretty clear monthly range, as we can see. Range high up here around $7, $7.50. Range low down here about high $3, low $4. And you can see it was the same accumulation range that we saw back in 2020 before the bull market really kicked off. And you can see once we re-entered the range here back in September, we've not been able to get out from it. And we are just trending towards that range low now. If we go down to the weekly, we get this, if you just quickly grab your fib tool, you'll see that is pretty much a perfect mid-range at $5.57, and you can see it was a significant level of resistance here before. Now we've broken below it on the 8th of May, and as you can see, held as resistance on the 22nd of May. So I see no reason why DOT can't continue down towards this range low. It's trending down on the monthly time frame and on the weekly time frame, closed below the weekly level, which was the monthly mid-range, and it's only about another 14%, I think, from the 15% down to the range lows. We've seen alts drop 10% in one day, so we could easily see DOT drop below there. Nothing's stopping it now, in my opinion. So I think I could easily revisit the range lows. But what a fantastic buying opportunity if you believe in DOT as a project. $4.30. As I say, I mean, the all-time lows are around $3.50. We could easily tap these lows as well, but yeah, I personally do think we are going to see those yearly lows hit again. And as I say, it looks very similar across all the alts. I'll come to BNB and last because it looks slightly different. But VeChain, again, you can see a clear range being formed. And we've broken below this 5th of December weekly level, which was essentially the mid-range. We deviated above, come back below, and what's that, another 15% maybe to the bottom, not even that, 9% until the yearly lows, as you can see. And what a significant level of support that is going to be. So again, not a bad place for a potential long/spot buy. Near, same situation. As you can see, clear range being formed here. We're breaking below the mid-range. We broke below that 5th December weekly level, which I was banging on about for quite a long time a few weeks ago. And as you can see, once we got below it, it was all downhill from there. We tried to hold the mid-range. We did hold it for a few weeks, but now we're clearly going to close below it. And again, opens the door to these yearly lows. And if we just take a look again, was it another 10% move? 10% move down to those yearly lows. So again, it could easily be done in one day. And then finally, Matic, before we go on to BNB. Again, if we go to the higher time frames, monthly range there, it clearly defined, big deviation, got back inside in April, and it held as resistance in May. And we're pretty much almost there. If we go down to the weekly, you can see the December, January lows. I mean, we've actually hit them. We've actually hit the December, January lows. So Matic's already done it. And then if we go to BNB, so obviously the big story coming out this week. In fact, let's go to the weekly. So I said on Monday that I've been talking about this for quite a few weeks. We actually entered a short on the Learning Crypto Earn While You Learn Premium. We entered this trade and we've taken profits here at this weekly mid-range daily level. But I was bearish ever since we got this deviation back inside the weekly range high, and as you can see, it's broke down from there. And again, now we're below this mid-range. There's no reason why it can't come back down to the range lows. The yearly lows are actually only just here at 240, so not too far away at all. Let's just grab our tool here, about 7%. You could easily see that drop again in one day. And if we go to the daily, so this was the trade that we had on the Earn While You Learn Premium. We got in just around here, just above or just below 330. I think it was about 328, and we held it all the way through here, and finally closed our trade here at 273. I'll just grab the screenshot just to show you. As you can see, we've got in 328.8 and got out at 273. 33% trade on a 2x. Not bad at all. So if you're interested in checking out what the Learning Crypto Earn While You Learn is, go follow the link in the description. It is daily trading, Monday to Friday, longer time frame swing trades, and it basically teaches you, if you're a complete beginner, never been on an exchange before, never really done any TA before, there's a free course on there, show you the basic TA method that we use. And then, as I say, once you're signed up to premium, it's currently half price for the first month, and in fact there's also a 14-day free trial. As I say, follow the link below. But yeah, low leverage, sensible risk management, walking you through the trade. I literally do the trade on the screen, all the TP stop losses, setting them, entering the trade, all that good stuff. And yeah, it's running really well. And then every month we do a live at the end of the month to go through the performance and talk through trades and stuff like that. And not only do you have access to that on the Learning Crypto premium platform, but you also get access to our Discord, which you can see the members trade section. If I just bring it up here, so as you can see, it's where all the members throw in their TA and their trades for you to either copy or follow. Put in your own trades in there, put in your own TA, see other people's trading strategies, etc. So you can also, if you're interested, you can just get access to the Discord only for £5 a month. That is a brand new product that we've just brought out this week. So if that's what takes your fancy, £5 a month, all access to the Discord. Or if you want access to the full premium platform, as I say, there's a free trial, and yeah, all that good stuff. So go check it out. But in terms of what I think is coming from the market, as I say, if we see a drop in the traditional markets, then I think Bitcoin and the rest of the market will follow. Alts, I think, are going to head to their yearly lows, which, as I say, fantastic buying opportunity. So yeah, I would keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, enjoy the weekend. Try not to spend it all staring at the charts. The markets will still be there when you get back on Monday. Speaking of which, there'll be another video out where I go through everything to watch out for next week, including CPI and FOMC. So it's going to be a massive week next week. Should be plenty of volatility. So I'm looking forward to it. And as I say, watch out for that video on Monday where we can prepare you for everything that's coming. But as I say, in the meantime, have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.